Dance. Dance. You can see that look in my eye. Ain't gonna stop anytime soon. Roll up while I cry.
Here we go again. I mean, this is the truth show, and there's more. Oh, I know, and there's more. Oh, I'm not done yet. I mean, this is the truth show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Truth Show. How y'all doing today? Well, tonight, I know it's been one crazy freaking week, right? Dealing with the Epstein files and all that crap that's been coming out and them retracting it and redacting it. It's been a freaking hot mess. Trust me, I know. I've been reading the Epstein files. There's so much to go to. I don't know how those TikTokers and YouTubers or whoever, I don't know how they have the stamina to go through those darn files, because that is a lot of crap to go through. I'm telling you that right now. I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. That's too much. That's too much for me. Anyway, the stuff I personally read and saw and the countless videos are sick. I had to take some days to digest it all. I saw and read some pretty, yeah. Let's just say I have no more whiskey. Remember, it just doesn't stress me out. It just disgusts me, you know? Oh my gosh. People are sick. The elite are some cannibal, perverted, sick fuckers. I mean, all that money just make them even more sick. I can't even, it's sick. Seriously. Straight up fucking sick. That's all I can say about that. You know what? We have a lot to cover, so here are your warnings. Please note that this is all alleged. I have never met any of these people. I deeply researched all of my information. This is a trigger warning. In this video, I may be talking about or showing sensitive material about some subjects or topics that may be disturbing or upsetting, or may bring forth some troubling memories, as you read in the description or title. With that said, either end the video now or brace yourself. Aside from that, enjoy. Okay, something came up. As I was going through the whole Epstein files and the docs and things of that nature, a case came up. Just my microphone. Okay. A case by the name of Christy Rogers, who went missing some years back. Here are the details. Okay. Now, the disappearance of Christy Rogers. First, her name was Christy Lee Rogers. That was her name. Okay. She was 16 years old when she disappeared back in August 2nd, 1997. Yes, literally 28 years ago. 28 years ago. Going on 29 years ago. She came up missing in Crestview, Florida. Florida Panhandle. Assuming that's what that whole area is. Don't know anything about that. It's still categorized and status is still missing, and the case is still active, have not gone cold, which is shocking because, you know, other cases that are even more longevity than this, or not even that longevity, actually short, are closed. But, you know, that's a whole other subject, and we'll get into all that malarkey later. Anyway, it seemed like Christy was a normal teenager. She had friends, she had a boyfriend, and no history of running away. She had no reason to run away. I mean, her life was great. She had a boyfriend, she had friends. There was no reason for her to run away. She wasn't suffering from depression or past health issues or anything of that nature. Now, before we dive deep, I want you guys to take a look at these clips, okay?
I need your help. I think I just solved a cold case. I was going through the Epstein files, and I'll post it in a second, but there was an email talking about how a girl went missing, and on the same day, they had a girl with the same name on flight. It's redacted. I also have the unredacted handwritten flight logs, so I looked up that date and got a name, and I searched. And then I Googled the name, and she's still missing. So if any of her loved ones see this, I think you should bring this to your police officer's attention. The tag is at the bottom so that they can identify what document it is. I'm sorry, because I know that this is not the way that you should find out.
There it is. That's just a preview of some of the clips I'm going to show you. Okay. So she did do her homework. She definitely went into, let's go back actually. She definitely went into the flight log. She did her research to make sure it was the same person. It seemed to be aligning perfectly. If there are any errors in this reporting, please let me know below. Now here's the timeline of the whole thing. Okay. It seemed like Christy told her family she was staying at a friend's house. Instead, she stayed at her boyfriend Mac coffin home. Teenagers lie all the time. Oh, I'm going to stay at a Lucy house and then going to your boyfriend's house. I haven't personally done it, but I'm just saying who hasn't done it. As far as I know, just saying. Teenagers lie all the time. Anyway, Mac told investigators Christy left around 5 a.m. He said she wanted to leave before his grandparents woke up. She was never seen again. So he was the last person who saw her. She did medication. Apparently, well, health problems. I meant mental health problems, not physical health problems. Just want to point that out. I should have been more clear. Christy had a kidney infection, needed medication. She did not take it with her. So she had very much intentions on returning home. Okay. This is one of the biggest reasons investigators didn't believe that she ran away. Because she ran away, she took her medication, took some money, some identification, had a backup plan, She didn't take any of that. She meant literally to go say she was staying over a friend's house, but stay over her boyfriend's house, sneak back home, and pretty much what she probably done several times already. So that is not the intentions of someone who had every plans on running away. Okay. Okay. And then 6 months later, a bag of, containing Christy's clothes was just spontaneously found. It was behind a shopping center in the area that had already been searched with cadaver dogs that found nothing there the first time. So it just appeared later, which is odd, which means she probably deceased. They're just dropping her for clothes. I don't know. I hope that's not the case, but if it has anything to do with Epstein, I don't know. And this was like 28, 29 years ago, about to be 29. I'm not sure. So investigators believe the bag was placed there later because it wasn't originally there. Now, this is the most suspicious detail in the entire case, believe it or not. Now, the 2001 misidentification. Okay, I want you guys to take a look at this clip. Whoa. I'll show you the clip later. Okay, anyway. Now, here are some key red flags here, okay? Here are the parts investigators and the true crime analysts always highlighted. Now, the boyfriend timeline is pretty thin. He was the last person to see her. His story has been disproven, but also never fully verified. You know what I mean? So they're saying he's no longer POI, which means a potential of interest or whatever you want to call it. He's no longer, a point of interest. I believe I'm not sure of the whole legal jargon or whatever they use anyway. But anyway, he's not a point of interest. So it's not a definite, but he's still kind of, if that makes sense. He's straddling the fence. But anyway, apparently he has an alibi for that night. I don't know how you have an alibi, considering he was the last person. I don't know the details. I'm just now receiving this case. Literally, I didn't go dive deep into her case. Because again, you already know the history of my channel. I'm not going to break my back doing all that. And when I get paid, someone else is getting paid. I mean, would you do it? No. Okay. So anyway, but they're saying he was the last person to see her. His story has never been disproven, but also never fully verified. Okay. Now the plan of the clothing, the bag, her clothing that just popped up months later. Someone apparently, they put like this. They're saying, this suggests someone may have moved the evidence. Someone wanted the case to take a certain way or take a different direction. Someone returned to the scene, apparently, or where she came up missing or whatever. They're thinking she came up missing behind a shopping mall, but why would she go to a shopping mall? And I'm assuming she had every intentions of going home because she should have been home in the first place or wherever the hell she was going to sneak off to. I don't freaking know what teenagers do these days. Anyway, so police have said no one in her life has been eliminated, which means everyone in her life is literally suspects, but they can't verify or prove everything. And I don't even think they're even working on it, to be perfectly honest. This is like almost 30 years ago. So the original detectives probably retired or dead. Who the fuck knows? I didn't dig deeper into that, but this was a long time ago. Okay, so that includes her boyfriends. I'm saying boyfriend because I don't know how many boyfriends this girl had. Friends, acquaintances, strangers, anyone who crossed her path. Okay, the case has never been cold. It has not gone cold either. It is still considered active and not closed. Okay, now what do investigators believe? Okay, investigators believe, based on the statements, they do not believe she ran away. They believe she met with foul play. They believe someone in the community knows more than they're saying. They believe the clothing bag was intentionally placed, and put it like this: someone put that clothing bag in there, or probably put it there just to throw them off, or say she came up missing there. I don't really know. But how did she end up at the shopping mall when she snuck out of her boyfriend's house? I mean, that is so freaking weird. Like someone's, oh, I gotta get rid of these clothes right quick. It's still in my house. It's still in my basement. I don't know. Her boyfriend is definitely looking very suspect. I really don't know. That was almost 30 years ago. He's probably married with kids now. I don't know. I don't even know who a boyfriend is. I try to look for pictures and everything, but it's not really a lot to talk about. I mean, this case is almost 30 years ago, y'all. Almost 30 years ago. Okay, she was a teenager back then. She probably in her 40s. She could have been in her 40s now if she was still alive, or would have been in her 40s if she was still alive. You know what I'm saying? So this is a long time ago. Anyway, take a look at this. This is the only clip I was able to find on YouTube of them even talking about this old ass case. Okay.
I started here 4 years ago. And that was, I asked for this case.
Ralph Garrett is an investigator with the Crestview Police Department. For the last 4 years, he's been searching for answers to a 22-year-old disappearance.
Christy disappeared here in Crestview August the 2nd of 1997. That period of time, she would have been 16 years of age. Christy had actually left home to spend a little time with a boyfriend. And what we're understanding is when she was heading back home is when she was disappeared, when she was taken, possibly.
Christy Rogers spent the night of August 1st at her boyfriend's house on North Lloyd Street, about a 15-minute walk from her own home on Walnut Avenue. He told authorities she left his house around 5 o'clock the following morning, but she never arrived home. The boyfriend has been cleared as a suspect, and other leads have grown cold, but officers have not quit questioning what happened to her.
We received information approximately 2 months ago that she was in a body of water in northern Okaloosa County, and with the help of the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office dive team, we searched that body of water to include drones, and there was nothing in the water, nothing found. We've received information that she may be buried at certain spots that we've not been able to verify that yet, and so we're working on that, trying to pinpoint a point where she may be buried. You can tell me that she's buried there, but you're going to have to show me.
The National Center for Missing and Exploited to create photos they believe may depict how she would look today.
This is a picture of her on the day that she was missing, and this is an updated version of her with the help of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
Socialized all through Florida. So did Epstein. Okay, even though Florida's pretty big. And Florida do have a long history of trafficking corridors. Okay. And a lot of those trafficking corridors are not solved, especially during the Epstein high prime stumping ground and the long time that he had been trafficking, the high and the amount of clientele that he definitely exceeded. I mean, he went from just normal professors and everyday people to kings and queens, yes, all over the world, congressmen, presidents. I mean, his clientele is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Unfortunately, we having a fucking conversation, but what can I say? Take a look at this.
I don't know if people are talking about this, but it seems that in the latest file drop, the United States government was investigating and probably solved a cold case from a missing 16-year-old from Florida. This is Christy Rogers, and she was just 16 at the time when she disappeared on August 1st, 1997. And in the latest file drop, there's this email. Now, this email is to a Brendan Quigley, who is a lawyer at an international law firm of Baker Botts. And the other person mentioned here is David Rogers, who was a pilot for this entire operation. And in this email, they asked about a Christy Rogers that was listed on the unredacted flight logs. And she was there. These are the flight logs for the same exact date she went missing, August 1st, 1997. Mm-hmm. And of course, there are tons of redactions for the different emails that are CC'd on this email to Brendan. However, even though their name is unredacted, the person that replies is an assistant United States attorney in New York. Not only is her case still listed as unsolved, but NCMEC, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, has posted about her case as late as 2025. The United States government has proven that they investigated, they probably solved it, and did not tell anyone.
Mm-hmm. So that was pretty much just a summary of what the first video was, but maybe more in detail because the other lady acted like she couldn't even talk or something. She was being very emotional and very short, you know, so I'm not sure if that was for effect or she really was emotional and short. I don't really know. Okay, so we know that, you know, Epstein operated in Florida. Trump lived and socialized all through Florida. Florida has a long history of trafficking quarters, okay? We know that. But Crestview, here is the thing that makes this story not plausible. I think I should give you both ends, so I just won't be on one end. I need to give you both ends. Okay, so, but Crestview is in Panhandle, and that's about 500 miles from Palm Beach, as if it matters, but just want to make sure you guys get that understanding. She stays 500 miles from, you know, Panhandle, and like who would travel that far to snatch a girl? And then it's not connected to Epstein known network, apparently, when he pick up people. Generally, he pick up people in the low income areas, not too far from where his stomping ground is. And it's not part of his recruitment zones, apparently. You know, I'm assuming the type of girls that he generally gets. He seems to always go to the blonde head girls, slender, you know, skinny. And no offense, this young lady here looked like she was 5'3", and how many pounds did she weigh again? I believe she was 5'3", and she was, let me see if I have her weight on here. I think it was in one of the videos actually that she was 5'3", and I believe she was 100 and some pounds, I'm sure. But so the point is, she was a little bit on the healthy side. Okay, just point that out. She was a little bit on the healthy side. And I don't think that technically qualifies for someone who is for Epstein. But let me see how much she really weighed, because I really paid attention to what she weighed me real quick. I think it's in this video. Let me see. I think he mentioned, okay, here it is right here. Oh, okay, here we go. I may be wrong. Okay. It says here she was 5'3". Oh, and she weighed 109 pounds. Okay, I stand corrected. So she was 5'3", weighing 109 pounds. You can't see that from her top photo. I guess she just, you know, thick on it. Maybe she just have a really chubby face, chubby baby face. It's really weird for a 16-year-old, but anyway. But yes, that's how she looked. Apparently she was 109 pounds, so she was skinny. So that's interesting. Although, again, I can't really tell from her... you know, her face, for her to be 109 pounds at 5'3". That is 109 pounds, isn't it? Yeah, that's very interesting. But anyway, so I guess she is around the weight, but Epstein seems to always get these blonde haired girls. But I don't even think it matters. A pedophile is a pedophile, or young girl is a young girl. I mean, does it fucking matter? Seriously? I don't really know. I have no idea. I don't know pedos, freaking preferable people to pick up. I don't know. But they're saying that it wasn't connected to Epstein's own network and not part of his recruitment zone. So while the state overlaps, the regions do not. That's why investigators have never linked Christy case to Epstein. I have a lot of, disregard on what the fuck the freaking state and investigators don't overlap. Let's be realistic here, because they are just terrible. And we'll get into whole logistics on the DOJ a little later, okay? But the reality is, Christy case is suspicious. It is heartbreaking. It is full of unanswered questions, okay? And absolutely deserving attention along with every other missing case despite race, okay? I'm only talking about this case because it is a missing case and it is devastating, but because it links to the Epstein case as well, okay? But as of today, there is no confirmed evidence connecting her to his pilots, his flights, or his network. Well, apparently it is connected to the pilots and flights, but this is what the media is saying to the trending information that Christy Rogers may have been snatched by one of Epstein recruiters or him himself, who the fuck knows. So that's why I'm talking about it. But some news medias are trying to denounce this whole little information here. They're saying it's not connecting to his pilots, his flights, his network. And it says TikTok creators are connecting dots, but the official documents they're saying do not connect the dots as of right now. I'm going to be real with you. I think that Epstein may have had something to do with her missing, and along with thousands of others. I bet if we dig deeper, Epstein may be connected, again, to many, many other missing cases. Tell me your thoughts below. Meanwhile, let's dive deeper into Trump and the really sick thing that I heard, but I kind of linked and hinted about this a long time ago during the death of Ivana. If you go back and look at my live show, I try to remember and put the link below where I put it into this video or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely talked about that when I ran over her very suspicious death and her allegedly falling down the fucking stairs, which I never believed in a million years. But there has been a rumor that Trump may be burying bodies in his golf course, and he may have been doing it for some time now. Oh, yes. Let's talk about that. Okay. As you know, Ivana is sadly buried in Trump's golf course. Very sad and depressing for someone to be buried in a golf course. She deserved a proper burial. Well, she was a Pisces. Yeah, she was a Pisces. So our cosmic attraction was definitely up there, right? But that is a sad way for someone to be buried. And Ivanka's not saying anything. Ivanka's dumb as hell anyway. Naive as fuck. I mean, the girl was getting pimped and trafficked all her life. I don't even think she know what's up. She's around me seriously a Nicki Minaj at this point. So anyway, so Ivana is buried there. So this is kind of making that story and that rumor of, well, actually there's emails hinting to this. It's not so much of a rumor. There's emails hinting to this. And I get into that a little bit later. I have videos to show you about that, of course. But anyway, but her being buried there kind of confirms it. Now, if something is going to be done about it, I know we stay in America, and there seems to never be any justice, but I'm going to say this, as long as Trump is in the White House, nothing won't be done about this because he's in the White House. If he wasn't in the White House, I guarantee our Justice Department will be going after them like some cadaver dogs, some parasites, some disease, or fucking plague. Trust me. But Trump is in the office. He's the president. It's kind of hard to go after him when he is the president, even though he cheated his way in the White House. But let me just break it down for you, okay? Just so you can understand what I'm saying. There seems to be some evidence that Trump and other possible bodies may have been buried underneath the Trump golf course. It seems that Trump and others mentioned in Epstein files are killing girls or babies or boys or whatever and burying them in his golf course. I think they need to take a bone scanner and look out there, but take a look at these videos and then we'll talk.
Listen, y'all, I know that everything coming out is making everything connect to everything else, but listen to this one. We all know how Donald Trump's first wife, Ivana, fell down the stairs, right? But the sketchiness of that singular part aside, we also know she was buried on Trump's golf course, which everyone was kind of at the time like, but then, people started justifying it by being like, oh, he's a good businessman. That means that the golf courses can't be taxed. Oh, he's so smart. Anyway, what if, not what if, we know that was not the first human being buried there. Think about it. Think about it. He buried her there so that everyone would say, oh, that's, it's a cemetery. Yeah, whatever. It's a cemetery because there's one person buried there. Just the one. Yeah. More like 100 fucking thousand. Who knows? Who knows, right? Who knows how many dead children are buried there? So anyway, just to round this all up, she did not fall down the stairs. She was not buried there out of sincerity, familial love. Like, no, it was not for the tax write-off. Although I'm sure that was a nice plus. It's because there are already people buried on his golf course. Think I'm crazy? Dig it up.
Yeah, dig that shit up.
Dig it up. And prove us wrong.
Yeah, prove us wrong.
But do it. Dig every inch of that graveyard of children.
Yeah, dig it up.
Right on up. And you know what? While I'm opening the can of worms, let me just sprinkle some more names of people that died under suspicious circumstances and were also wealthy elites, maybe super well connected, and knew about certain things before their untimely suspicious deaths. Prince, Michael Jackson, Princess Diana. I'm just gonna leave that there for y'all to sit on.
Mm-hmm.
See it as it has been presented by the Trump administration and the Department of Justice. At age 16, while modeling, Caller attended 8 parties at Epstein's New York residence. On one occasion, Caller reported she was sexually assaulted by Epstein. On another occasion, 2 twin brothers, Alan and Orrin, lured Caller and her friend upstairs, but they escaped back downstairs. Caller stated Orrin raped her best friend, and a third brother, Ty, raped a 14-year-old girl named, that's redacted. Caller named other individuals involved in big orgy parties with her, other young girls, and older Victoria's Secret models, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. Online complainant reported she was a victim and witness to a sex trafficking ring at the Trump golf course in Rancho Palos Verdes, California, between 1995 and 1996. Complainant reported Ghislaine Maxwell as a madam and broker for sex parties, clients of whom included Epstein, Robin Leach, and Donald Trump. Complainant reported participating in orgies and that some girls went missing, rumored to have been murdered and buried at the facility. Complainant reported being threatened by Trump's then head of security that if she ever talked of what went on there or who she was, he would end up as fertilizer for the back 9 holes like the other. I'm not going to say that. Complainant claims to have video of high-profile sex parties, dealings with cartels, and having witnessed Robin Leach strangle a young girl to death at a party. Now, I understand that these were all complainants and coming in from individuals that maybe didn't materialize. Maybe these people could never be reached again. Maybe they vanished, they disappeared, never to be seen again or heard from again. I understand all that. But something else I understand as someone who's almost 48 years old is that we're supposed to be made to believe by those in charge right now in the current administration who said they had nothing to hide, that everything you're reading right now, which is just a fraction of what has yet to be released, which I'm going to remind you, has been 42 days that they have broken the law under the Epstein Files Transparency Act. 42 days. And these people who are currently breaking the law every minute of every day in those last 42 days, they want you to believe that everything you're reading is untrue. that nothing can be corroborated, nothing is true, nothing makes sense. All of these allegations and complaints are from nameless and vanished individuals who were just out for their money and power and to ruin their reputation, because all of these people were such good, upstanding, distinguished human beings. That's what they want you to believe. But here's something I've realized as I'm almost 48 years old. I'm not saying that everything is true in the information we're reading, but I'm also not going to say that everything is not true. There are truths within those millions of documents. There are absolutely truths if there are absolutely falsities. It isn't all or nothing. And for us to be made to believe and conditioned like we have been our whole life, that these people in higher positions of power who say they care about us, who say they represent us, which we see more and more every day, they don't. That these people never lie. These people never do anything insidious. These people never do anything to harm other human beings is the greatest lie we've ever been told. There is truth if there is falsities. You will never convince me in all of the information that I've read, which is a fraction of what they have yet to release, that everything is untrue. That all of these complaints that came in years or decades ago by unrelated people who never materialized, who never could be reached again, who maybe vanished, maybe disappeared. You're going to tell me they were out for riches and glory and power? Well, then where are they? Where are they? Because I'm more inclined to believe that they risked their lives even saying what they said at all. And that a lot of them who said these things were known by the people who did those things to them. That they risked a whole lot more than a lot of us could imagine by even making these complaints to begin with. And I'm not saying that every word they said is true. I'm not saying that every complaint is true. But I'm saying not every complaint is untrue. And the more we find out and the more we read, the more we can decide that maybe the amount of information regarding specific individuals and a similar sort of understanding of all these young people attending these parties and these farms and these similar stories, even though unrelated, talk about similar occurrences and events throughout the decades. Maybe there is some truth in that. And maybe it's worth investigating. Maybe it's worth questioning all over again. Because what I read you from that current release, that's why I showed you the article regarding his little lot of land in the wetlands of Sebring, Florida. Mm-hmm. Because of what one individual said regarding the golf course. Mm-hmm. And the rumors that this person had heard that perhaps there could be those who no longer take breath laying below the ground in those golf courses, right, or in that golf course, mm-hmm, or maybe in another part of the country in a small lot of land where this man pays taxes every year and nothing is developed. Yep. I'm not saying that is true, but I'm saying it's very strange at the very least. Yeah. Because I would wager not a single one of you in your entire life has ever known individuals like this who have been named in things like this to this extent, ever. Because if you had known these people, if you knew that they had been named in thousands or millions of documents, thousands or tens of thousands of times, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have a relationship with them. And I'm pretty sure you would have never supported them and voted for them to be the president of the United States. I'm pretty sure of that. That I'm certain of.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too. Facts. Let's give this man a hand clap because that was some very informative and insightful information. Yes. Let's give him a high five there. That was amazing. Yeah. Beautiful. Loved it. Mm-hmm. Salute. I don't even drink beer, but gotta salute. Okay, let's move on here. We don't want to lose momentum here. So as you know, Trump, there's a possible chance that he may be having some dead bodies in his graveyard. Okay. That's been proven.
Listen, y'all, I know that everything coming out is naked.
Seriously.
I want to remind you that in January of 2000.
Seriously. I mean, it's not even a guess anymore. They really need to get a bone scanning machine to scan his entire golf course and his swamps. That's what they should do. Will they do it? Like I said, as long as Trump is in the White House, probably not. Just want to point that out. Now let's move on to why Elon Musk and Trump rigged the election, because now there's more evidence to pretty much validate what I've been saying for going on a year. Some change now where people thought I was just crazy and not making any sense. Oh, you're not making any sense. What are you talking about? No. I mean, that's literally the, backlash I was getting, that I wasn't making any sense. And it turns out I was making very much sense, and they should have been listening to me in the first place. But you live and you learn. I can forgive people, seriously. So there have been some files that reveal that Musk lied about his connection with Epstein. There was an email that revealed how he begged to party with Epstein. He's like, "Can you let me on to the island? I need to release. I need to party. No boundaries." What is wrong with these people? Can you be this rich where you just need to do this stupid fucking shit? I mean, shouldn't you be so rich and busy where you don't have time to go in that dark place? How can you go into that dark place unless you have a lot on your mind? I would never understand in a million freaking years. Seriously. Like, how can someone have that much freaking time on their hands? But anyway, here are the clips right here.
It was already extremely fishy that Elon Musk endorsed.
Okay, we're going to talk about the election being rigged. Okay. And we're going to talk about other things as well. Okay. Just want to point that out. All right. So we know that Elon Musk begged to get on the island. We know that, right? But also, okay, not only did he beg to get on the island, but like I told you, there's evidence that he also rigged the election as well. Okay. We already know that already. All right. So let's first go into the conspiracy theories. I don't even think it's a theory, but I'm going to say it just for, safety measures of him rigging the election. And then we'll talk about him begging to get on Epstein Island.
For Mayor of New York City. But now the Republicans, MAGA, Elon Musk, are saying that the voting is fraudulent and the election is rigged, even though we don't have results.
Yep, sorry about that. Just a moment.
Dance. Dance. You can see that look in my eye. Ain't gonna stop.
Okay. Alrighty. Here are the videos.
It was already extremely fishy that Elon Musk endorsed Cuomo for mayor of New York City. But now the Republicans, MAGA, Elon Musk, are saying that the voting is fraudulent and the election is rigged, even though we don't have results from anywhere. Elon Musk took to Twitter and said that Zohran Mamdani's name is on the ballot twice, therefore the election has to be rigged. And this is a sentiment that has been shared in several thousand times. In New York has almost 0% voter fraud, and your ID is not required because the information that's provided on the voter ballot, if it doesn't match, you can't vote. Besides that, Zohran Mamdani is on there twice because multiple parties can nominate the same person or list the same person on the ballot. He's there for the Democratic and he's there for the working woman, the women's families, whatever it's called, you can see here in this picture. That is not fraud, because Trump was listed twice in 2024 when he was nominated for president on the Conservative and Republican Party. See how this works? Fighting hard for Cuomo. I said if Cuomo wins, he's going to do the same thing he did for Trump, where Trump was so certain that the election ballots were going to work in his favor, and this election may be rigged.
And then he journeyed to Pennsylvania, where he spent like a month and a half campaigning for me in Pennsylvania. And he's a popular guy, and he was very effective. And he knows those computers better than anybody. All those computers, those vote counting computers. And we ended up winning Pennsylvania like in a landslide. So
Stay tuned, because
He just be telling himself. I'm telling
Cuomo
you.
wins, guys.
Cocky
You
as
probably
hell.
agree there was some funny business afoot here, because I feel like they're prepping us for it
Think?
already. Because what do you mean the election's rigged? Because the name is listed twice and the election's still going on.
And this was recorded in November of last year, not November of 2024. I just want to point that out.
Between the election, 4 hours before it was officially called. This story is crazy. 8 members of Congress are now calling for a full-scale investigation into Elon Musk because he was allegedly able to predict the results of the 2024 election 4 hours before it was officially called. Sources close to the Hill, speaking anonymously, revealed that the lawmakers are alarmed by Musk's access to what they described as proprietary election data. The controversy began when Joe Rogan disclosed that Musk had developed a custom app on his phone capable of delivering real-time vote tallies with pinpoint accuracy. During this episode, he explained that Musk had developed a bespoke app on his phone which was able to give him precise numbers of votes ahead of time, several hours before the networks announced it. Take a look.
So as the results were coming in, before 4 hours before they called it, Dana White told me Elon was like, "I'm leaving till Donald won."
He was also noticed compulsively checking his phone on election night with Donald Trump. 8 Democratic members of Congress have said they are demanding a full inquiry, including subpoenas for Musk's app code, X platform algorithms, and any communications between SpaceX, Tesla executives, and Trump before the election. Knowing all of this information, the tweet Elon Musk sent out on June is very uncanny. Remember, he said, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Democrats would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate." This also reminded me of a quote by Donald Trump that he said on January 19th, 2025. He said, "Elon Musk knows those computers better than anybody. All those computers, those vote counting computers. And we ended up winning Pennsylvania like in a landslide. This is all a major red flag. Elections are supposed to be handled by neutral institutions, not by billionaires who are using private software to allegedly access real-time, non-public vote data. If he's able to secretly access this non-public data, then what makes you think he couldn't alter it?"
I said this around election time, made an entire video, and people are just now catching up to it a year later. You know what? I hope this pans out. I really, really do. That'll be fantastic in this fucking nightmare. Okay, this is Elon Musk begging to get on the Epstein Island. He was begging, I tell ya. Remember I told you? Yeah, he was begging. Listen to this.
Elon Musk asked Jeffrey Epstein when the wildest party on his island was going to be. That was on November 25th, 2012, and a month later on Christmas, Elon Musk is emailing again saying, "Do you have any parties?" He says he really wants to let loose, and a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what he wants. And Jeffrey Epstein is going to send a helicopter to come get him.
Yeah,
It is Christmas morning, and he is asking a sex offender who has already been prosecuted for soliciting prostitution from a minor when the wildest party is going to be on his private island. A couple months later, Jeffrey Epstein and multiple assistants all went to SpaceX for a visit and a lunch with Elon. And you can read in the emails about Jeffrey bringing multiple young assistants with him to SpaceX. Later that same year in 2013, Christmas comes around again, and Elon Musk is emailing about another holiday visit. Here at the bottom, it says, "Elon Musk, we will be in the St. Bart's area. Is there a good time to visit?" Jeffrey Epstein says, "Always space for you." Elon Musk sends 2 emails, and I guess didn't get a response because then Jeffrey Epstein's assistant up here, Leslie Groff, had to remind Jeffrey
to respond. So he kind of got a little bit ghosted by the pedophile that he really wanted to hang out with. So it seems like he spent multiple Christmases or multiple holiday visits at Jeffrey Epstein's Island.
That is
or at least
dark.
really, really, really tried to get there.
Sick. He claimed he had no affiliations with Epstein. Oh, I didn't, never. I spoke to him a few times and that was it. I had nothing to do with Epstein, didn't know. Lying SOB. Now we know the connections between Epstein and Musk and Trump and why he had to rig the election. We finally got the final piece to the puzzle on why Musk helped Trump because of this. And let's not forget that Trump, you have to understand, you see, Trump had some dirt on Elon Musk. And we can clearly say that helping Trump win the election was part of the deal / pact between the both of them. Trump wanted the election, and he wanted to stay out of jail. In order for him to stay out of jail, he had to win the election. And Musk, who is also close friends with Putin, oh yes, Musk made several trips to Russia during Trump's campaign. To find out more, just look at my video that's literally pinned to my homepage on the Truth Show channel. Is how the 2024 election was rigged. I'll leave the link below. I will leave the link below. Okay. But yes, I definitely go into deep how the election was rigged, the whole 9 yards. Of course, the video views are stalled and, frozen, so to speak. But you already know the deal with my channel. But yes, definitely pay attention to that video. Okay, there has been some evidence of cannibalism. Oh, it's getting really dark. There's evidence, okay, of cannibalism. The email shows something about eating children and babies, and this was revealed many years ago about other high Hollywood stars, and they called them crazy, and their career got blacklisted for them even admitting this shit. Yes, and it turns out I knew they were telling the truth. I just don't want to admit it because I don't want to be added to the crazy category as they were being called. You know what I mean? But let's be realistic here. Elite people are sick. I don't know if you get so much money, you just become non-human. I don't freaking know. I don't know how it feels to have no much money. I don't know. But all I know is that if you go in dirty and get your money in a dirty way, you will end up really dirty and dark. People who get their money in dark, deviant, evil ways become very dark, deviant, and evil. And that's a fact. I mean, look what happened to all the people who became famous on someone else's blood, black, tears, twisting stories, blacklisting people, ruining their careers and sabotaging their work. Look what's happening to those individuals. They're not ending so great. Their life is pathetic. Even though they have money, they're lonely, sad, I mean, it's just really sad. You know what I'm saying? They're not happy or fulfilled. The only thing they have going for themselves is the fact they got money. And that's it. But other than that, their life is pretty goddamn depressing. So, yes, it seems like the Epstein and his homeboys, not just pedophiles and rapists, they were eating babies and they were selling it. And this could be the reason why so many babies are coming and missing. This could be the reason why Trump is so freaking obsessed with immigration, more kids to feed, and that little collagen that Hollywood celebrities are currently using. I'm not going to even tell you what the collagen they're getting it from and making them so youthful, because I know Hollywood is obsessed with staying youthful, because that will probably gross the fuck out of you. But you need to wonder where they're getting the collagen from. Fruit? I don't know. Maybe from the millions of babies that's coming and missing and the kids that's coming and missing, you hungry youth fuckers. But anyway, I just want you guys to take a look at these clips.
This picture found in the Epstein files appears to show human meat directly next to turkeys on a cutting board. So you can actually download and scroll through all these photos yourself, like I've been doing for the past few days. But at one point recently, I started to see people talking about this image. It is in file EFTA01646032. And you just have to scroll down until you find this. Now, this is a more full version of the photo that's unredacted, and as you can see, it appears to be a naked human or possibly a child with its legs up in the air, its face turned to the side, and it appears to be dead, almost as if it is going to be cannibalized next. So clearly, seeing this photo amidst other photos from Epstein's estate, like photos depicting CSAM and perpetrators, that's incredibly disturbing, right? Well, as you can see, this image is attributed to someone named Harold Seward, And as it turns out, Harold is a kind of macabre artist.
He's
who
sick
has
as fuck
created
anyway.
all sorts of pieces of art that really push the boundaries. And he has been working in those spaces for years, for decades now,
And he's sick as fuck.
creating really strange art that is, you know, to some extremely tasteless. And yes, I know a lot of people have been thinking that that photo might show a form of cannibalism or something like that occurring in the Epstein circle, but it's really just a piece of art created by Harold, at least to our knowledge. But to me, regardless, that begs an even bigger question. Why is this art sandwiched amongst CSAM? Why is this photograph, this extremely creepy photograph showing what looks to be the dead body of a child that is completely nude on a cutting board? Why is that image in the Epstein files at all? If you actually scroll through this section of the files, you will see it's nude pictures of victims with perpetrators,
Which I would not be
lots
looking
of
at.
sexual photos, and then this is just randomly in there. So did Epstein have this image in his files because he
Sure, yeah,
was
'cause he's sick.
participating in something like this? Did he have a penchant for extremely disturbing and bizarre art? I don't really know, and I don't know what to tell you guys.
He knows.
There are no answers here, especially since there's no context provided. Just to remind you, the DOJ and the FBI, they did not provide any context to any of the images or videos that they have released. They have simply just thrown them up and said, make of this what you will. So if anybody else has any ideas or thoughts on this photo and why this may have been in the Epstein files, please let me know. But I'm gonna
Yeah, let us know. Let us
all
know.
of these stories. There are so many videos that I have to make just today because there's so much coming out of this, and this truly, the Epstein saga is truly the biggest story of our generation, of our time. In my opinion, it's the biggest news story of all time.
You
And it's just
telling me.
getting darker and darker.
It's just gonna get darker. I told you. Welcome to the transition from the age of Pisces to Aquarius, where the veil has been lifted and the truth is being put out there. Yeah, the water barrier. What water do to dirty areas? They clean it, right? That's what the water do. What do air do afterwards? Clear the debris that's been left after, and that's what the Aquarius age is pretty much doing at this moment. Clearing the debris, clearing the muck, lifting the veil, opening your eyes. And as I stated, during every transition, there will be a lot of truth being revealed. We are just at the brink. We're not even in the core of the dark shit that's been going on. Trust me, it's going to get even darker. Especially with this live show, it's going to get even darker. So be prepared for that as well, okay? Just want to keep you guys forward. I tried to warn you at the beginning. You know now.
So this is one of the most disturbing things I've ever read in my life, and it raises the question, was Jeffrey Epstein impregnating young children in order to force them to have kids that would then be brought into the world of sex trafficking and pedophile rings from a newborn, or I should say from the age of newborn, or whatever you'd say. So these are screenshots from a journal of one of Epstein's victims, and the girl talks a lot in coded language. As you can see here, this is kind of how she wrote. And she writes in these journals, but it's a pretty easy code to decipher. I deciphered a bunch of these pages. But the really disturbing thing throughout these journals is that she talks about multiple perpetrators. She names perpetrator, like the executives at AOL, Leon Black, a good friend of Epstein's. There are many more too. But this girl constantly talks about death, about murder, about her babies being taken away from her, about her being forced into these traumatic procedures that were extremely potentially her babies, her sonograms. And yeah, I mean, you can pause and read all these pages. There are so many of them.
I got those pages downloaded. I'll read them later when I'm really
on my channel. And
feeling good.
I was on the verge of tears throughout most of it. I mean, it's really, this is horrific stuff. Some of the pages she has drawn to and splattered with ink like this, or like this with some of her code. Here are some of the pages translated, though. Tomorrow is the halfway ultrasound for Jeffrey. This one stuck. After they took the first baby who survived in the early miscarriage, I think it was called, I no longer feel like a person but a vessel. Will they take this one too? Who has the first one? Where did Ghislaine go? I can't let myself get attached. My body feels so tired. Will I ever be free? So then in another page of coded writing, she writes, I am such a monster. I didn't console her. I can't unhear her screams. They haunt me. I couldn't even bring myself to look at her. I am a monster. I deserve to be haunted by her screams. I am so sorry. I am so broken. Another page here, she describes the doctor who was from Israel. And
She describes the
This is
procedure.
sick.
This was different. A shot, and those rod-like things had a hook and so much pain, blood and water all over the bed, and she was wrecked, like a
This is
feeling when your
sick.
tummy hurts and you have to push. I saw her fingers, this tiny headed body in the doctor's hands. It reached its tiny arm up and had a tiny foot. I closed my eyes and no more cries. I don't understand. Just say these things happen. They yelled and screamed, and he said it will be the same in a couple of months. I don't understand what is going on. I can't go to school like this. I can't stop shaking. Yeah, so to me, it sounds like this girl was being impregnated over and over again, starting at the age of probably 13 or 14. And then when she was having these babies, they were being taken from her and immediately brought into the world of a pedophile ring or sex trafficking
Oh my
organization.
gosh.
There are so many things in these journals that are so twisted. Let me know if you want me to talk more about these entries because, yeah,
I don't know if
it's
I
really,
want to hear
really,
anymore.
really heartbreaking stuff.
Watch the.
Oh, let me set the scene. You remember Roseanne Barr said they was eating babies? Remember she was yelling, they called her fucking nuts? She's been saying this for years, they were eating babies. Remember that? Well, we're going to revisit that little thing because that has been justified. Everything that I've been saying, Jackie White been saying, Roseanne Barr been saying, Kanye West been saying, Nicki Minaj been saying, the list goes on. All of Wendy Williams, all of us, all of these years have been saying, have been true. And what happened? What do all of us have in common? Blacklisted, struggling. Yeah, that's what all of us have in common. It's just that I haven't faded out into black. I've been still trying to run in the game. I have not changed courses on what I do. You know what I mean? I'm like somebody, Nicki Minaj. But I'm just saying, or Kanye West for that matter, somewhat. We've been labeled crazy. I guess now you guys see what the fuck's been going on. Okay? He's mocking her. My phone to the screen popping in his face.
Now let me tell y'all something. This woman knew exactly what was going on because she was in on all of it. They messed this woman up in the head, and they tried to call her crazy. They tried to get her out of the public view.
Trust me, I know.
She did not make that tweet. I promise you, she did not make that tweet. They tried to get her out of the public view because she was saying things that needed to be not said. These people are powerful. They're worshiping an ancient deity called Moloch. Moloch. He has a constant hunger and feeding for little children, babies. And they're feeding that hunger. That's how they get all of this power, all of their money, everything. And it's all coming to light now. Now, hold on. You know what else she said? She said whenever President Trump gets elected and he gets in office, he's going to open up a lot of eyes. Now, all of you stupid people that were under his wing, how do you feel about that now? She was right. You guys called this woman crazy. You canceled her and made her out to be this crazy person when she was not crazy. She was not crazy. They're eating babies. They're eating literal babies.
Yep, that's what she said.
This was so much more
She said that
than
years ago.
everyone expected. I knew. People called me crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. I'm awoke.
Yes. We are awake.
Man. Listen to her. She knew. She knew.
Yeah, call us crazy. Mm-hmm. Facts. Oh, I was trying to show my face earlier and I couldn't. The lighting was terrible. And my lamp that I have on my desk, you can see the shadow of it going through the side of my face. But I really tried to show my face, so whatever. Anyway, I'll show my face next time. I want to get into the habit of showing my face. Seriously. It gave me a reason to get dressed or something because let's be realistic. I'm working from home and I'm bored. Anyway, but yes, that's what that was. Cannibalism. That has been pretty much a conspiracy. It's funny that all these years you guys are calling conspiracy theories crazy with the tinfoil hats. And We're no longer crazy anymore, are we? No, we're not. I'm a conspiracy theorist and I'm in own. I have not changed courses and joined the minority or the group. I'm not a follower. I'm more of an individual. I set trends. I don't follow trends. Not trying to be conceited, just saying. If I see too many people doing something, I'm not going to even do it, which is why I haven't watched Harry Potter and all the rest of the freaking videos that people are obsessed with, because I don't want to be among the people obsessed with that. I'm sorry. Except for a few movies I do watch, but I'm not obsessed with it though. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But we have been telling you guys for years what the league has been doing, and y'all been calling us crazy for years. Oh, I'm not done yet. I still have more videos for you. Okay.
This picture found in the
Oh yeah, still more videos. You remember this? This Hispanic girl was yelling, and people called her nuts. They said she was crazy. This girl, she's nuts. She's high. She's on something. Her name is Gabriela Rico Yamines. Probably mispronouncing her last name here. They called her crazy after she attended an elite party back in 2019 and confessed afterwards that they're eating humans. But she disappeared after this. No one knew where she was, so they murdered her. No one knows where she's at. She's completely missing. Okay, and along with a lot of other Hispanic people, and y'all expect that's probably another reason why Jennifer Lopez is bitter, because her people are being snatched and put in camps. How the fuck you think she's supposed to feel? And I know that's back in her mind and she's trying to stay focused, but I'm sure it's back of her mind. You know, it's got to hurt, you know, and this has to stop. And it will stop as soon as Trump is out of the office. It will stop. I guarantee you it will fucking stop. And they will pay. But listen to this girl here, because they called her. I didn't think she was crazy because I already knew the deal. You know, I have to give. I saw it. I knew she was telling the truth, and I even said that too. But now people are like, oh my gosh, it's the truth now. Really? Dumb fucks. Listen. Make sure you look at the subtitles because she is speaking in Spanish. Mm-hmm. Now, this young girl here, she sounds like she's from the UK because she has a British accent and she talks like this. So, but this young girl is going to tell you something very profound, very insightful. Listen to what she is saying because it's definitely true.
This young girl exposes how the elite and social services work hand in hand to sacrifice children.
Oh, social services is also an organization that Trump wants to take over as well. He's after children. The rich people who is helping him reorganize and pretty much dismantle our federal government, our Justice Department, is pulling the strings above Trump and behind him. Having them take over areas where children are provided because they're obsessed with children and babies. More children, more babies, more teenagers, because they're fucking nuts, okay? I can't even say F too many freaking times because I'm so angry right now. They are freaking nuts. I'll try to die down a little bit. They are nuts. They're obsessed. That's all they want is obsessed, sick people. We don't have degree and morality and integrity people. No, J.D. Vance is part of it too. He got sucked in it too. They probably gave him a few little minors. He lost his damn mind too, right along with freaking Gates and all the rest of them sick fuckers. Okay, so this young girl who is unfortunately a victim of the Child Protective Services, just a pretty much a illegible and some kind of legal trafficking service. Okay, why do you think they cut out abortion, even though they were the kings of doing and needing abortion? But they cut it out because they know these teenagers or whoever they impregnated, they would give up their babies. And either the Child Protective Service or the foster homes will take it, which is like literally a stumping, or the homeless shelter, literally a stumping ground for pedos and rapists and traffickers. It's like their own personal convenience store, okay? Or back shelf or something. That's why X out abortion. We can't give them options. We need the babies because something freaking wrong with these people. They need to be behind bars or they need to seriously get the chair. For real. Listen to what this young girl is saying. And they call her crazy too.
Have a listen.
If you get borrow, for a rent, they give it away because sometimes families are poor, so they can transfer their people who had baby children and they were really poor. They can afford food for them. So if the families doesn't have money and they get a baby, they sell it. They eat it, do sex. They they inject it to make it go to sleep. And then after, Papa tells us to hold the knife, and then he puts his big hand on. He pushes it into the neck, cuts it. And after, when it's upside down, so it's like, he goes like that. How does the baby become upside down? So you get a string, hang it up, and it's upside down when it's asleep. Well, yes. Miss Martin, the nurse, Miss Martin is a nurse of our school. She does the injecting. She pretends to be kind to my mom. She likes to say be kind, and then after she injects. She's the nurse, so she pretends to be kind to mom, and she saved me and gave. If I hurt myself, she pretends to be really kind to us and look after us and give us. Remember of the school? Yes, she's a. What do they have a special something that they wear? Yes, they wear this special kind of shoes. They make what shoes? What shoes? Kind of shoes? Baby skin shoes. Daniel, Felix, and Max. They work at a shoe shop. Daniel and Felix, yes. What shoe shop do they work at? Daniel and Felix, they work in the next to the O2 Centre one in this tube station. Where? Just inside the tube station. The tube station where? What tube station? O2 Centre one. O2 Centre where? So in the corner. Tube station. I think it's the next Waitrose. I didn't have to. Finchley Road Station. The tube station. Yes, yes. So when you come in, there's this shop, shoe shop. What they do. And those fellas, they take off the skin. I don't know how. I don't know. Oh, the baby. The baby.
Okay, enough interrupting the damn girl, okay?
Everyone wears the shoes. Everyone in the car. Yes.
He's working on my nerves, interrupting every 3.5 seconds. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Did you hear the sick crap that came out of this poor young girl's? Anyway, if you want to know where Epstein is more than likely dumping some of the bodies or the fetuses or embryos or whatever, he has a nice little dumping pool where he dumped them if he can't bury them, because burying them, I mean, so many you can bury. I mean, he's trafficking so many kids, so many you can bury in the backyard or burn. Okay, no, I mean, he has to do something with them. So this is what he do. Yeah, Epstein had a trap door in his house. Let me just pause it. I'm gonna read it for you guys. Okay, Epstein had a trap door in his house that gave him direct access to the sea. Oh yes. It said that it was used to dispose of the victim bodies, which would then be devoured by sharks. Because don't forget, he's by the island. There are sharks, even though sharks don't really like human bodies. Generally, if they've tasted and it's human, they probably spit it out, which is why you find their limbs floating. That's unless they're really, really hungry, they will devour it. But they don't really like humans, but they don't know the difference between humans and fish. But yes, that's what he has. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Trap door in his house to get rid of the dead bodies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not lying. Oh, I'm not done yet. There's still more. But we're going to move on to something a little bit more sneaky. Okay. Let me start this dark crap that we just got through discussing. Okay. Let's talk about this beautiful website. Isn't this a gorgeous website? We have an Italian restaurant. They're selling pizza pies, pizza by slice. I mean, there you go. Look at that. Seem pretty simplistic to you, right? Just a normal pizza joint. Perfect. What could be wrong? What could be wrong? You order pizza, cheese pizza, whatever. I'm a vegetarian, so I'll probably get a cheese pizza, veggie cheese pizza, whatever. No big deal. But let someone like Epstein or Trump or Musk or Gates or Jay-Z and all the rest of his little pedo buddies, let them go in there. They probably will order something a little bit more dark and disgusting, because this is not just a pizza website, okay? A pizza and grape soda are the key orders, okay? Let me get a pizza and a grape soda, okay? Here's a video that's going to give you the inside details of this somewhat normal. Yeah, it could be on your corner. You will have no idea about this pizza joint because it's just that camouflage and that freaking hidden.
There's been a lot of online discussion about the fact that the word pizza was mentioned almost 900 times in the Epstein files, but there haven't been a lot of mention about the pizza website that one of these documents takes you to. So let's break it down. Pizza with grape soda is mentioned multiple times throughout the Epstein files. First, we get a slice of pizza with grape soda, then the Pop-Tart, pizza and grape soda, enough said. Holy S-H-I-T, chunky. I forgot about that. What time do you want to get pizza and grape soda? This is better than a Chinese cookie. See attached. Let's go for pizza and grape soda again. No one else can understand. And there's a few other instances, but in this email, the subject is pizza and more. And the email reads, Mr. Epstein would like to see the menu from the pizza place. Could someone send it, please? Anne sends the link, which is then forwarded to Jeffrey Epstein, and writes menu from the pizza place. The pizza place appears to be Pizza More St. Thomas. And Pizza More St. Thomas does exist. However, they have a VI in their URL. URL here does not. And takes you to this website of a man holding a pizza and a grape soda and says, Mamma mia, this has gone too spicy. Contact our head chef, Samola Hyde, for any special orders. To place an order, you have to log in, which says sign into your account to access your profile history and any private pages you've been granted access to. This man appears to be Sam Hyde. This is his Wikipedia page, which I don't think I can read most of it without this video being taken down. But he had a series that was canceled after one season, which he attributed to his vocal support of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Though others called the show
Pedos
material
without
as the primary reason for its termination. And the rest of the information about him, which you can pause to read. I'm still combing through the files, trying to find further connections between the website, the emails, and the individuals. But there are 3 million pages uploaded. So if you happen to stumble across a document that you think might help the connection, please let me know.
Yeah. Did you guys understand what she said? Say pizza and grape soda. Just in case it went over your head. Pizza is the kind of pizza you want, is the nationality of the pizza. Okay. I want a plain pizza. So that probably means you want some Caucasian plain child. Okay. Grape sodas means you want to rape. Grape is rape. I mean, there's no clear or misunderstanding about that. Pop-Tart, you know what the fuck Pop-Tart, like you want to pop someone's cherry, which means someone a little bit probably started the period and not so young. Okay. And if you say I want some pepperoni, you know, maybe something with a little color, that's what the fuck it is. And I'm sure when you log into this little secret freaking website from this little trafficker, I'm sure it'd be more goddamn details. And I don't know why I'm starting to think the FBI and the DOJ and all the rest of them little sick fuckers are probably clients of this. And that's why that, you know, this is ridiculous. This is freaking ridiculous. Okay, so he's advertising what he's doing. This is why do you have to log into your account? He's advertising what he's doing. And it's still up. It's not taken down. He's still getting paid from this. Let me just point that shit out there. So hackers, instead of fucking around with my shit, you stupid fuckers, maybe you should probably, you know, expose this. Do something good for a change, okay? Consider you lazy. The only thing you want to do is steal from me. So do something good for a change. How about that? All right? So he still got this up there because he's a goddamn trafficker. And anyone who's in support of Trump, don't be friends with them anymore. Because they're admitting they're liars, racists, pedos, traffickers. They don't even deserve even a kind word from you. Even to be involved in your space because they're all sick. Sick Fs. Okay? That's what the hell they are. Okay, let's move on to something else because I think you guys need to understand what DOJ is because I feel that the translation and the details of DOJ is being lost, but a lot of things that you guys are saying are true.
There's been a lot of
Okay. What is the DOJ? Because I feel that a lot of people are not understanding what the DOJ is. Okay. Now, first of all, for example, many people are blaming the DOJ for the lack of prosecution and the mishandling of Epstein files. And most are correct about the DOJ, but I think most of you should know more about the DOJ. Before I break it down, here are some clips. He's going to give you just a literally detailed description of what it is.
Here's what the Department of Justice actually does. The DOJ is responsible for enforcing federal laws and representing
You may have to turn it up because he's talking really low. I have his way up and he's still talking low.
the United States. The DOJ oversees federal agencies like the FBI, federal prosecutors, and U.S. attorneys across the country. The DOJ investigates crimes, prosecutes cases, and ensures that laws passed by Congress are enforced clearly and fairly. Although it's a part of the executive branch, the DOJ is expected to operate independently to avoid political interference. Because of this, whoever runs the DOJ has a major impact on justice, accountability, and public trust.
There you go. That's his description that I'm sure he probably read from some, dictionary or some kind. All right, now before we get into the details, you guys need to know how this whole covering up the Epstein files started with Trump, DOJ, the whole 9 yards. Here's a wonderful AI video that's going to give you a full detail, and then I'm going to break down in detail of what the DOJ is and what they are doing, okay?
We now know who the man covering up the Epstein files is. It's quite often that the scum who carry out this type of vile corruption get ignored. This is Director of the Office of Information Policy, Sean Glendinning. Sean Glendinning is the man overseeing the entire collection and release of the Epstein documents. Sean Glendinning is also taking part in and actively running the very obvious cover-up. His department at the DOJ was designed to do document releases just like this one. But the weird thing is, Sean Glendinning only just got appointed to this job and has zero experience at it. In fact, he seems to have been hand-selected from his position as legal counsel to a MAGA congressman specifically because he would do just this. Sean Glendinning purposefully created a broken website you can't access. Sean Glendinning broke the law by redacting most of the pages without providing an explanation as to why. Sean Glendinning willfully committed a felony by not releasing all the documents. Sean Glendinning is a criminal and protector of both kinds of PDFs. Sean Glendinning now deserves to be singled out by Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey because this cover-up can only occur with Sean Glendinning's blessing. So maybe go ahead and remind the congressman or Sean Glendinning himself that he's done a big no-no and that Sean Glendinning deserves the consequences to his actions. So remember, his name is Sean Glendinning. That's the name. That name again is Sean Glendinning.
This is the one who is responsible for redacting the Epstein files, the one who is committing treason and all kinds of cover-up and fraud and all kinds of bullshit. We can't even fathom the amount of illegal crap this man has done. He is redacting the abusers' names, not the victims. He redacting abusers' names. He's covering up for them. He needs to go to jail right along with the rest of the MFs who is in cahoots with Trump. Throw them all in jail. And Trump too. And make sure it's broadcast on national freaking television. Don't be PG in this man. He don't PG nothing else, but he's talking about reporters and putting them in their place. Don't PG nothing of him either. Give him a taste of his own medicine. Screw that. They go low, we go high. No, we go lower, but we just go more legal. Okay? And cooler. Fuck that lower, higher nonsense. Anyway. Let me get back to what I'm saying here. Okay. So why the DOJ isn't being held accountable for Epstein files delays? Yes, the DOJ has missed so many deadlines, it's freaking ridiculous. Okay. Well, the Congress passed the Epstein Files Transparency Act, requiring the DOJ to release all Epstein files by December 19, 2025. We're supposed to be all literally spending our holidays, if you believe in that Christmas bullshit and, non-existent New Year's, we're supposed to be spending our holidays going through this, whatever. The whole family just going through it because we just want to take him down. I don't know if it's going to be anything. It's going to be something done about it. Trust me. As long as he's in the White House, nothing's going to be done about it. Okay. That's what we're supposed to be doing before Christmas. Okay. Now, the DOJ missed the deadlines because remember, we have rich people running Trump. They're currently running our government at the moment. And the Republican Party, in terms of that part of the Senate, the Congress, are not doing anything at all. They let them do whatever because they are affiliated with the Epstein Files elite too. They use dummy names, but they're a part of that too. And they want their dirt to get out there too. But trust me, they are part of that 3 million. You guys just haven't gotten there yet. Okay, they're part of it. They've been there. F's. So the DOJ missed the deadline and released only a fraction of the files. Instead of consequences, the Congress, especially Republicans, simply just move on. Like, I don't care. Let him do what he wants. I don't care. Whatever. And, the political reports that lawmakers who once demanded the files now say they don't give a rip about the delay. Who's going to stop them? Who's going to prosecute them? They're literally showing that they don't give a what about the delay. They're literally saying, okay, and what are you going to do about it? Nothing. Okay, that's what they are saying. Okay, and these are facts. Okay, so yes, in translation, DOJ broke the law and Congress chose not to enforce it, which means they're just letting them break the law. They make no midterms. You know how much damage they can do before midterms? Fuck midterms. Call for a recount. Get all their asses out of there. Throw them all in jail and pretty much ban Elon Musk. Yes. Seriously? I'm trying to come down here. Seriously. We need to ban Elon Musk from coming in here in this state. Literally. Just rip up his boarding pass. Rip up his passport. He should be no longer allowed in the United States to even work in the United States, to even practice in the United States. Get rid of his business altogether. We'll go with other companies that's out there. We have Spectrum, we have AT&T, we have whoever else out there that I don't know of. There's plenty out there. We don't need his work. Take his ass to Epstein Island. I'm sure he can concoct something there. Okay, so yes, the DOJ definitely did break the law. Okay, that's a fact. They did break the law. They did. Okay. However, the DOJ claims delay is due to volume and technical issues. The DOJ says they're reviewing millions of pages, video, and images, and the process requires redacting victim names, coordinating with victim attorneys, fixing technical glitches, reviewing duplicate files. They say over 500 prosecutors and staff are working around the clock on the release, but they still refuse to give a timeline. Okay. 500, they're saying. Victims say the DOJ is protecting abusers. They are, because they're redacting their names, not survivors. Victims publicly blasted the DOJ for an incomplete and misleading release of files. Their statement says survivors' names are exposed. Abuser names remain hidden, though, because they want the elite to go after the freaking victims, to scare them, even though the information's already out there. But remember, we have abusers who are probably more than likely rapists and pedophiles too, redacting these files as well. Okay? All birds flock together. We are seeing everything clearly now. Who are the sick, disgusting fucks? We are seeing it right before our eyes. Okay? Welcome to the age of Aquarius. Welcome to a new goddamn age. Okay? So, the DOJ is claiming that transparency while withholding key documents. They're claiming transparency, but they're literally not doing that. Victims argue the DOJ is protecting powerful men, the very people the public wants exposed, which they are doing. I think this last release of files was an accident. I think they had two sets released. They had one that was redacted and so redacted where the abusers were not in there, and they got rid of those pages where the abuser was on there, especially the ones they really don't want to be exposed, and they got paid to not expose. I think they accidentally released the wrong set of files. So they have to go back and remove them and redact them right quick, which is illegal. They shouldn't be doing, but it shows in clear format how far they're willing to cover up for these freaking abusers and these elites. I think they released the wrong goddamn set of files. I really do. I think they had two separate files. And I don't know who did this. They must have been tired or stressed or whatever. Released the wrong set of files, and now they're trying to hurry up and see why they cover their ass. Like, oh shit, we released the wrong set of files. God damn, shoot! So they redacting and removing it, and everyone is saying that everyone who's been in that damn link, they are redacting those files that already got released already. But a lot of people already downloaded those files already, so whatever. But that's what they're doing, seriously. So we have here the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanchett announced the DOJ is not releasing the rest of the 6 million pages de-identified. And they said they're not going to do it either, which is illegal because they shouldn't be doing it because it goes against the law that they pretty much enacted. And they're going against it. And they're just saying and blaming on television they're not doing it because they feel they're above the law. They really feeling themselves at this moment. So they're saying the 6 million pages that are identified, that they're not releasing all. They're just going to release half of them and they're done with this. Their words, not mine. The DOJ is unilaterally deciding what public gets to see. and redacting what they want. Like, what are you going to do about it? Seriously. Yeah. Yeah. The DOJ is refusing to release documents that may implicate powerful individuals. Victims say this is a betrayal of the law and of survivors, and it is. So why the DOJ faces no accountability? Here is the uncomfortable truth. I think you guys should know. Well, the Congress isn't enforcing the law. They haven't done a damn thing. Lawmakers who push for the release have moved on to other political battles. I don't know what battles they are other than the wars that Trump is enacting. And let's see, the DOJ controls the documents. That's another reason. So they decide what gets redacted, what gets withheld, what gets labeled duplicate, what gets classified. There is no independent oversight, which means they control what gets put out there. Point blank, simple. That's what they're doing. Okay, so they're protecting the pedos. They want this little pedophile, trafficking, sick, cannibalism reign to continue forever and ever and ever. They don't ever want to get caught. They want to continue doing this because they're sick. They're freaking sick. Okay, so the DOJ claims victim protection, but it's literally the abuser protection, the elite protection. They don't give a damn about the victims. They don't care. Okay, who cares? They don't care. So victim protection is seen as justification. Really? They say they must redact names of victims, even those names were already public. That's what I understand. We already know their goddamn names. So don't only hear the victim names. They already told us who their names were. That's unless their names of missing other teenagers that has been missing for years, like the Christy Rogers. And I'm sure there's other like Madeleine McCain and probably a countless others, maybe even colored Negro children. I guarantee it. That's some of the names they don't want to be put out there because it will pretty much show the negligence of this entire situation. Like, why haven't you guys did this sooner? Whatever. So that gives them broad power to delay or withhold because they feel they're above the law and no one can stop them. So the political pressure. The Epstein files implicate billionaires, politicians, celebrities, global elites, and literally dismantle the entire federal structure. This is the money behind the federal structure itself. Because behind the federal government is a bunch of rich billionaires telling them what to do. That's who got elected. Okay? Literally. So both political parties have reasons not to push too hard. So what this means for the public, the DOJ behavior shows, well, transparency is optional. Like we don't have to if you don't want to. Deadlines don't matter because they don't follow it. And power protects power. I'm going to protect this power because I want to retain this power. And they're not even hiding the fact that's what they're doing. Victims are still fighting for justice. Nothing is happening. These pedos and rapists and killers are still walking around for free. I think one's about to do a movie, Rush Hour 4 or 5, don't even freaking know which one. And the other ones are still members of fucking Congress. Nothing has been done about any of this. They're still wrong. Nothing. They arrested Bill Cosby, R. Kelly with no evidence. Other people with less information. I mean, R. Kelly's in jail for over 30 years for something that hasn't even been substantially or solidarily freaking proven, just fucking hearsay from people who could have been paid, who were paid but not getting paid anymore, so they're bitter. A lawyer could have definitely argued that shit, but whatever, power protects power, right? And I guarantee you in a couple of years, that information on how his case got padded will become free. And I cannot wait until this person is exposed to all that dirty shit he's done. You think Diddy was dirty? You have not seen dirt. Okay, so victims themselves say, this is not over. Because they're not going to shut up. So if the DOJ is thinking they're going to shut up, and if the abusers thinking the victims aren't going to shut up, not going to happen. So let me just break it down and sum all of this up. The DOJ has faced intense criticism for missing the deadlines several times. The deadlines of the release of these Epstein files, publishing only half of more than 6 million and saying they're not going to do it anymore, while heavily redacting information that could implicate powerful men, because they want to protect the powerful men, even as victims' names and identifying details were mistakenly exposed. Officials claim the delay is due to massive viral material and the need to protect victim privacy. But lawmakers and survivors argue the DOJ selectively holding documents, violating the Epstein File Transparency Act, and shielding elites from accountability. Despite Bartism pressure, the DOJ has declared the review over. They're saying it's over. They're not reviewing anymore. Even though there's 3 million left, they're saying not reviewing anymore. They're done. Leaving millions of pages unreleased, fueling accusations that the department is prioritizing and protecting influential figures over transparency and justice for survivors. So they're saying we're not releasing anymore, even though there's 3 million, but we're not doing it. We're done with this. There's nothing you can fucking do. Kiss my goddamn ass. What? That's literally what they did. And I'm telling you what they said. Seriously, they went on national television. We released 3 million and we're not releasing anymore. This whole thing is over. I'm done. Admitting they breaking the law and literally blatantly saying you can't do nothing about it. We can, because they are breaking the law and it's on record that they're doing it. But they're saying nothing's going to be done because they have gotten comfortable to see there's a pattern of nothing being done. Trump is still the president. Nothing has been done about him. Okay? He does freely what the hell he wants. He got freaking illegal ICE members running around Minnesota because he got some beef with freaking Tim Walz and this Ilan Omar woman. Okay? This is the person of vendetta he has for them two people and Somali people because Ilan is Somali. So this is a person vendetta. So he infestating their freaking town, any other blue state, with these ICE agents. That's what he's freaking doing. Okay. Because even though he can't do that, he got to go through due process and Congress should approve this, the bill and funding these ICE people. But he does what the hell he wants. Who's going to stop him? I mean, no one's stopping him. He's committing so much freaking treason and breaking so many laws. It's hard to keep up. You don't even need legal pad anymore. What you need is a database, 1 terabyte database to keep up with all the freaking illegal shit this man has done, and add the Epstein files in there and all the other disgusting things he has done throughout his entire life. Trump should be. Well, I think I'll let you guys fill in the blank for that because I don't think jail is enough for him. I don't even think prison is enough for him. Sing Sing, I don't even think enough for him. Okay, take him and that little heifer. Ghislaine, Ghislaine, because the S is silent. Take her ass down there to J.D. Vance, Gates, Musk, all of them. Take them all down there. This heifer here who don't know her goddamn job. All these pedos and rapists and sick FUCKERs. Take them all. Just get them and haul their ass down to Sing Sing. I don't even know if Sing Sing is even still a prison. I have no idea. But take their ass down there some goddamn way and just leave them. Matter of fact, don't even give them the political, I don't know, justification of it. Don't even give it to them. Who cares? Just forget about them and just pretend this whole little 1-2 years have never freaking happened. It was just one big ass nightmare. And let's try to move on and try to correct the chaos and catastrophic mess that this man put us in within a year and a half. That's what's going to happen because this is getting ridiculous. We are an embarrassment now. He's bankrupting us with this freaking nice shit. He's spending money like crazy. He's trying to get this damn freaking Greenland crap just so he can start some freaking wars. He's, whatever. Trump needs to go. He's supposed to be gone a long time ago. Apparently that's not happening. I don't know what the fuck going on with that department. But I am so done. And don't forget, you guys, to subscribe, share, and like, and hit the like button. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for staying throughout the duration of this video. Bye.
We see you, we remember. I am the storm, I am the silence, I am the truth unveiled, You are seen, you are known.